Welcome. Today we're diving into the world of the best British zombie films. The UK has delivered some incredible entries into the zombie genre, ranging from classic horror to modern thrillers full of action and suspense. In this list, we've got 10 must-watch titles that will take you on a terrifying journey. Ready for the apocalypse? Let's get started. Number 10. The Girl with All the Gifts. In a world plunged into a post-apocalypse, where humanity is nearly extinct, the last bastions of hope and fear have taken refuge behind the concrete walls of military bases. There, among children who are no longer quite human, but mutants half-controlled by a murderous virus, Melanie appears. Her face does not reveal who she really is. A calm, polite girl whose genius and charm mask her dark nature, a predator who can destroy the world or save it. With each passing day, Melanie learns more and more, and what at first seems like an innocent child quickly turns into a nightmare that no one can cope with. When the rage of the infected takes a turn for the worse, Melanie is faced with a choice: save the people who locked her up or unleash her inner monster. Number 9. 28 Days Later. 28 days after an outbreak of a mysterious virus, Jim awakens from a coma in a deserted hospital. Unaware of what has happened, he wanders through the deserted streets of London, where there is not a living soul. The city has turned into a nightmarish place, where the shadows of the past reverberate off the walls of dilapidated buildings. He soon discovers that he is not alone. There are infected people prowling the streets. They are the undead. They are people who have lost all humanity, now lusting only for blood. Every sound, every breath can attract their attention. Jim meets other survivors, but will they manage to survive together when every step in this post-apocalyptic world threatens death, and the enemy is not only the infected? The nightmare continues without end, and the line between life and death becomes increasingly blurred. Number 8. Anna and the Apocalypse. Imagine an ordinary sleepy town, which in an instant turns into hell on Earth. Anna, a young girl, does not yet know that her world will be consumed by chaos and destruction. Everything is happening at a time that should be the most joyous moment of the year: Christmas. But before the darkness finally arrives, something no one could have predicted begins: the zombie apocalypse. Angry, rotting bodies come to life, looking for victims, and death becomes almost certain. Every day is a struggle for survival, but what lurks in the shadows is not just a physical threat. The world is plunged into a ghostly Christmas chant as the town turns into a grotesque theater of horror. Anna and her friends must face endless carnage, where even the slightest mistake means death. When every step leads toward the grave, only the most determined survive, or become one of the monsters. Number 7. Doghouse. When a group of friends decides to go to the countryside to get away from everyday life and forget their problems with women, they do not realize that this outing will be their worst nightmare. The village they reach is deserted, and each step plunges them deeper and deeper into a hellish trap. It turns out that the women in the town have turned into bloodthirsty mutant beasts, thirsting for men's blood. This is no ordinary struggle for survival. It's a hunt. Their enemies are their own fears, in the body of monsters that were once human. Each of them must face a horror that brings their darkest secrets to the surface. Number 6. Cockneys versus Zombies. London is becoming the arena of a nightmare no one foresaw. In Cockneys versus Zombies, the city's streets are haunted by the undead, and in one of the dirtiest corners, a group of petty thieves plan the biggest heist of their lives. However, when they break into the bank, they don't realize that a zombie plague has broken out outside. Chaos spreads quickly, and the petty criminals have to turn their weapons to their only means of survival: brutal combat with the bloodthirsty monsters. It seems that what was supposed to be just another robbery becomes a desperate attempt to save lives. Thieves and zombies. Two deposits of death, but now only one of them can win this bloody battle. Number 5. Devil's Playground. In a dying world, a failed drug trial turns thousands into bloodthirsty beasts. London is overrun, and survival is a daily battle. Cole, a former soldier, must find the cure for the mutation within him before time runs out. Hunted by relentless mutants, every step through the city is filled with deadly danger. Humanity is gone, and now the streets belong to the monsters, where the only rule is to kill or be killed. Number 4. The Dead. Wandering through the spooky wilderness of Africa, every step is a struggle for survival. The film The Dead tells the story of Lieutenant Brian Murphy, who after a plane crash is trapped in a world where the dead do not rest in peace. Every night is a nightmare, every moment a skirmish with hungry bodies without souls that follow life like shadows. The sun burns away the remnants of hope, and Murphy, with every breath, loses his sense of humanity. He meets a local soldier, Daniel, who has lost his family, but has gained a purpose: to find his son. Together they must face waves of the undead, knowing that death is not deliverance. A terrifying, unrelenting threat lurks around every corner, and every step in their journey becomes an increasingly bloody game of survival with no room for error. Number 3. Shaun of the Dead. Imagine a world where every breath could be your last, and streets that once teemed with life are now overrun by rotting corpses. 2004's The Rise of the Living Dead takes us into a nightmare where ordinary people are drawn into the vortex of a terrifying apocalypse. Shaun, clumsy and unprepared for what is coming, is forced into a desperate fight for survival. He and a group of friends barricade themselves in a local pub, but the walls are too thin and their supplies too small. Outside, hundreds of undead drag themselves to devour anyone still breathing. Can any hope be found when death lurks around every corner? Their decisions could determine life, or of a gruesome death. Number 2. The Resort. The island that was supposed to be humanity's last hope for entertainment after the zombie apocalypse becomes a nightmare. The Resort takes us to a luxury resort where rich tourists pay to hunt down survivors of the zombie virus. What was supposed to be controlled entertainment quickly spirals out of control. Security systems go down, and zombies escape into the wild. A group of unsuspecting guests are trapped on an island full of the living dead, where every misstep means a brutal death. With each passing moment, the chaos grows, and the hunters become the victims. Fear, sweat, and blood mix in a desperate struggle for survival. Will anyone get out alive? Number 1. 28 weeks later. 6 months after the virus outbreak in London, life is slowly beginning to return to normal, at least on the surface. NATO troops are arriving to rebuild the city and protect survivors, but this is only the calm before the next storm. The virus that turns people into merciless beasts has not been completely destroyed. In hiding among the ruins and shadows, it lurks for its next chance. When the surviving family finds shelter, they unwittingly bring with them an indescribable nightmare. The contagion returns, and the virus grows faster than ever. The city is overrun by a wave of bloodthirsty monsters, and those who survived the first catastrophe now face something far more brutal and unstoppable. Fear and despair are spreading with the virus, and merciless chaos is taking over London. That's it for our list of the best British zombie films. Which one impressed you the most? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our next rankings. See you soon.